G'day, welcome back to the channel. Excuse the noise, very windy today. But here we have 2003 XR400. Now this was brought to me because it won't run. So the challenge has been set that we get this thing running. It's sort of a will it start video? I'm not sure. I mean, it probably hasn't been that long since it's been running, but a friend of mine bought this bike and of course bought it not running. Now, it's had some work done to it, engine-wise. The top end's been off. Apparently it's got new piston and rings and whatever. Whether you believe that or not, I don't know, but we're going to find out. But we're going to try and get this thing running. Yeah, so she's a little bit rough, but I mean, it's not bad. The bones are there of it. So before any other repairs get done to this thing, we need to hear some noise come out of that exhaust. So that's his aim. He just wants me to get it running, and then he'll fix various other things on it so he can ride it. But I mean, these are a brilliant bike in their day. It's a real shame that Honda stopped making them. So this is a 2003. Not sure what year they stopped making them. Maybe 06 something. But yeah, I think the electric start market seemed to kill these bikes off, I think. Even though they are a really nice bike to ride, they've only got a Kickstarter and no electric leg. So the XR400 was sort of, you know, well, it came out in 2000, something like that, with electric start. So it was sort of up there, but people were more leaning towards the XR just because it's a Honda. Not sure. But yeah, and then KTM's with their electric start and all sorts of things. Yamaha, WR, 400s, 426s, electric start. Yeah, so we'll get into this thing. So I think we'll just start with the basics. We'll get the tank and seat off. Maybe, I'm thinking I'm going to check the valve clearances, because these things, you've got to roll them on top dead center and then actually roll them past and then back again. So, because it's got the auto decomp on that right hand front exhaust valve. So you need to hear that click so you can check the valve clearances. So I think we'll get valve clearance first. Maybe squirt a bit of fuel down the plug hole. We'll check for some spark and then we'll try and give it a kick over. So let's rip into this thing. I've already sort of started to undo the seat, so that's easy. Tank off. Right, we'll get you in a bit closer. Righto, we'll get these cam caps off. We'll take this cap out here so we can twist on the crankshaft. Get the plug out. All right. We're going to need some sort of torch. All right. we'll just wind it over. Exhaust going down. I guess that was top dead center, we just missed it. Oh, inlet, sorry. So exhaust, inlet. Inlet's closed, piston will be coming back up. Let's look for the marks, there they are there. Firing T. So we'll go past. There you go, you hear that click? So now put it back on T. And that's got valve clearance. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to leave it. I just want to know that it's got clearance. I can feel it. I don't need to put a feeler gauge in there. So I'm going to put these caps back on, just in case we get a little fire out of it. Now I'm just going to just leave them finger tight, because probably going to be taking them back off again so I can do the valve clearances properly. But I just want to know whether this thing's going to pop or whatever. Alright, now we'll check for some spark with this. What is it? A Wango or something, spark plug. That's pretty handy. That was some sort of eBay special. Yeah. I have spark. So we have spark. So what I'm going to do now is shove a bit of fuel down the hole here. That should be enough. I'll get the old Wango spark plug back in there. Now you can see he's put another cylinder on it by the look of it. That doesn't look like the factory aluminium there. This fin is bent. I don't know what the go is with that, but I don't know, maybe he got it sandblasted, but it looks like an eBay special. But we'll just roll with it. All right. All right, here we go. We'll give her a bit of choke, but sorry for all the noise of this bench here. Need it over this way a bit. But it should pop, backfire, do something. Oh. The auto one works. Well, nothing. So I think we're going to take the rocker cover off. See what we can see in there. I want to check the cam timing. Could be 180 out. So it could be firing down at the bottom, but I think I'm going to have to take this flywheel cover off as well, just to look at where the pickup is, but it might be 180 out situated when it's saying the cam is on top dead centre. So righto, so we'll start, we'll knock this off, see what we're looking at. Maybe it might tell a story, as things do, and I like a story. Now, this bolt, you can't get it out. It's got to go in with the cover, so you've got to like slip it in with the cover. Don't forget it. You know, I would have never have forgotten one once before, or twice. You just need to, then you can cock it to the side and knock it out. Alrighty. Everything looks pretty good in there. Now you put a new camshaft in it. Don't know. There's an old one in a box there. So, I mean, timing marks are on. Ugh. Where will that oil come from? Look at that. Great. So we're on top dead centre. Lobes are down. There's little marks, little slash marks there, which you can see level with the cylinder head. So that's fine. Now I'm on top dead centre by the marks. It's not to say that even though you're at top dead centre here, that you're not 180 out. So that's why I'm taking this cover off. I mean, we can spin, you know, this around 180, but I can't see where the piston is, whether it's up or down. I guess now I could actually hold on. Oh, spark plug's still in the hole. Let's get that out. Maybe I can shove a screwdriver in there. So I would say that's piston at the top. Let's look. Piston's at the top. So the piston's at the top. Right, where were we up to with this bike? It's been a few weeks. I've been quite busy with other jobs at the moment, so I think we're thinking about taking this side cover off and matching up the where the pickup coil picks up on the flywheel here, just to make sure that we're all on top dead center and all the rest of it. So I've done that, and it works out that, you know, where the pickup is to where the mark is there on the flywheel, everything looked okay. It's not to say that it can be 180 out. So anyway, so another thing that I wanted to check is to see whether the valves are leaking. So we're going to do a leak down test just with some compressed air, and we're going to listen for air coming out the airbox, which would indicate intake valves leaking, or some hissing noise coming out the muffler, which would indicate the exhaust valves leaking. So what I've got is my little tool that I've made up, just an old spark plug, knocked the guts out of it, put a fitting on the end so I can put an airline on it. So if we screw this in, right, now it only needs to be finger tight, I suppose. Grab some air. And you don't want to jam the airline straight on there, because if the piston's up the top, it'll want to push the piston down the bottom and jerk everything around. So just be gentle as to where it wants to sit. Now, you probably hear a little bit of hissing going on there. So it is not coming out the intake. And it's not coming out the exhaust. I can't hear that there. But what I can hear is in the crankcase. I can hear it hissing coming out of here. Now it's got a new cylinder on it. So the story goes is that it's had a new top end, you know, like a new piston and rings and everything put in it. And I would say that's probably understandable, a little bit of hissing coming out of the crankcase, because I don't think it's been running, so the rings aren't seated. So you'll get a little bit of air passing, I suppose. But the valves aren't leaking, so that's a good sign. So we had spark. Everything was doing what it was supposed to be doing. So I have had my little camera down the plug hole there, and you can see that it does have a new piston and everything in it, but there is carbon on top of it. So I don't know. The story goes is that he did have it running, which I don't know how. So what I've done is I've changed the timing 180. That's the only thing I can think of at the moment. So I've changed it around 180. We'll put this side cover and everything back on. We'll put the rocker cover back on. We'll adjust the valves. I've got a NGK spark plug to put in it, so we'll get rid of the old eBay special spark plug. And yeah, we'll try again. We'll see what happens then. See if it backfires out the exhaust, which it should if it's 180 out. But we'll put it all back together and we'll adjust the valves. Right, I've got the flywheel cover back on, got the valve cover back on. When you're putting the valve cover back on, don't forget that middle bolt. When you've got it sort of cocked up on that angle there, slip that middle bolt in, because you will not get it on or in once you've bolted that on. It just frames in the way, so don't forget that little sucker there. So now we're up to valve clearances. We've got top dead center, so you know we've got a little bit of clearance there. So clearances are 0.10 plus or minus 0.02 on the intake, and 0.12 millimeters plus or minus 0.02 on the exhaust. Now we're on top dead center, and we've got clearance on 3 of these valves, apart from this one exhaust on the right hand side at the front. Now that's because the auto decompressor is depressing that valve, so it makes it easier for you to kick over. So what you need to do is you need to roll it past top dead center, and then you should come back and it should release like that. Hear that click, and you'll see the valve pop up. So now, where's my torch? We can get it back on top, right there. It's the T mark on the flywheel, and now we have clearance on every one. So just make sure you do that, because if you don't, you'll think, oh, it's got a tight valve over that side, and you adjust it, and then when you go to start it up, there'll be a lot of rattling going on. So anyway, so that is a little loose. On the 0.10, fourth out. So I'm just going to nip that, and generally I just loosen the lock nut off, and you can just twiddle the screwdriver, and you can basically feel when it is locked up with just touching the feeler gauge, and just lock it up and make sure that adjuster does not turn, and then you should have some nice drag. So that's that one done. So we'll go around, we'll do the rest, pop the caps back on. I'm not putting the bash plate or anything on, I'm not putting the top engine mount on. We'll put the spark plug in, we'll put the fuel tank on. I just want to hear this thing fire. Whether it backfires out the exhaust, because we changed the timing to 180, different to what it was. Why it wouldn't backfire before, I don't know. It wouldn't even fluff, so hopefully we might get something out of it this time. Anyway, we'll go around and do the rest of these valve clearances, put the caps and everything back on, put the fuel tank back on, and we'll go from there. This is the moment of truth. Which way's on these chokes? On these things, up. Now, will we get a backfire, or will it run? Get it over that top dead center. Oh, these stands are noisy, I'm telling you. Should really take it off. because I can't hear a thing. Let's just give it half choke. Did that fire then? That fired. Come on. Now I'm getting excited. Let's just go no choke. Bit of oil on the exhaust. Oh. Wow. 365 kicks later. Running. Now, turn that idle down a little bit. Now the fella that brought it to me assembled the carby himself. You know who you are. I'll just give it a little bit of a wow. Check the oil. Too low. Get some oil. I'll tell you now, that runs pretty damn good. Alright, see, it's running and it's on the upper. Funny thing with these bikes, DRZ's same. When you check them from cold, dip it, there's nothing on the stick. Sometimes you might find it's just touching the bottom of the stick. Don't put any oil in it till you start it. Start it, run it, check it while it's idling. Well, there you have it. So I would say the cam timing was 180 out. Now the fella who did buy it off did say he had it running. Don't know how, but so we've done the valve clearances. Motor sounds good. Starts, runs really well. So that was the decider. So now he's going to clean it up and fix it up. You know, it needs, I think it needs a linkage bearing, something like that. A few other little bits and pieces, but you know, just wanted to know that it ran before we go and spend all that money on it. So it does, and it sounds great. So I think he'll be very happy that we didn't have to pull the engine down of sort. So we just did those checks, just the basic checks. So and just took a punt on that the timing was 180 out, even though it didn't backfire on us when we were trying to start it earlier on. But there was only one reason why, so valve timing. But anyway, another one saved. This will be a good little trail bike. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe one day we might see you out on the road or the trails. No worries. Cheers.